I was watching the last video. Yes, I do that. I watch my videos. In fact, I'm probably half the views on there when you see the 7 or 8 that I got. And I discovered what is probably, just in watching that, what's probably going to be the problem here. This, not only is it square, and I was saying it'll probably end up having grease in this pocket that's here versus the older one with the original one with the cup. But the other problem is this. When you look at the others, this style, it's completely square. Let's go to this side. Completely squared off up against this flange on the shaft here. This one is not. This one is a concave flange here, which would go really well with a tapered or conical seal that originally came with it, but I'll bet is going to create a real problem with sealing with a flat square bottomed one. So my confidence level has gone from about 50% to about 20% that this is going to work at this point. Okie doke. Here's the next possibility. What if I just went with the other style entirely? The holes are the same. The shaft lengths are the same. The difference between these two is in this, where there is a slight concave to this one at the mounting bolt, whereas this one's obviously a lot deeper and it's squared off. I don't know, the shaft thickness looks about the same, but the thread pitch and this are really the primary differences, but it seems to fit. Maybe I need to just go with that. So I got corroboration from my dad on this. He thinks I should do this. So he came to the same conclusion independently. I didn't ask him, hey, should I do this? He called me and said, watched the video as well, and said, hey, you should try just using the entire shaft. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to try this. This is the old bushing. See how it turns in. I cleaned out these holes, by the way, of all the hopefully all the port 15 that had pulled in the threads and everything. And then she turns in a little bit tight, but I can feel it catching. Compare that to the new one. Because this is my main concern. I mean, there it goes. It turned in. It just took a... Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, the threads start immediately on here, whereas here you're running it up and gradually picking up threads. So there are more threads on this too than the original one, so I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be my primary concern. Best I can tell so far, that's not a showstopper there. It's press on is what I'm getting from that. Again, this is, you know, what you might want to think right away is, well, yeah, this is just a replacement. They don't make them that style anymore, or whatever, because the centers are correct and the shaft lengths are the same. But I don't think so. Again, this was, you know, once I looked it up after realizing that it wasn't the same one, and did find, you know, that it was for specifically, it may have been 3/4 ton and half ton Chevy, but it definitely was not GMC, whatever it was. So now the thing is, I'm gonna have to get a socket. I don't have a socket that size. Alright, that took a fair amount of effort, and one pretty much wiped out one wire brush on the Dremel. Getting this thing cleaned out. That poor 15, man. That stuff is not kidding around in there. That was keeping me from getting anywhere on this side. This other side's relatively, well, I mean, I had to clean them both up, but this one didn't take as much cleaning. But now they're in there. So yeah, the point is, I'm going to have to get a socket so that I can torque these down to the proper specs. But you know, I'll get it in there anyway, and you know, in here in the control arm, and you know, see where we're at, what it looks like back on the frame, and I'll finish the specs on it, you know, get it, I think it's 100 foot-pound is what it needs to be. Kind of interesting, I guess, you know, a lot of the control arms, they've got a dimple. It's just a completely round shaft, and I got a little dimple that's supposed to be here, there, wherever, so that you know where to turn it. Pretty obvious with this. They have to be where you can mount the thing to the frame, so that's pretty much where that's gonna go. So that's good enough for now, and I'll try it out, mock it up on the frame, and we'll see how she looks. Alright, I can't really hand tight these because, yep, upside down. Those go into a hole. The nuts on the back, so anyway, I got it on there. You can see how that's gonna go, and I like it. I think that's gonna be just fine. All my clearances are good, nothing's touching anything. Alright, that's what we're going with. Alright, well, I got a before I go to torquing on anything, I need to calibrate my torque wrenches. It was pointed out to me after I broke a bolt on my son's brake calipers on his Mustang, that you can't store these things run up. They got to be all the way out for that spring in there. And so anyways, that's you know, probably what happens. They're out of spec by quite a ways. And I got a couple of them that I got at garage sales. This one's actually pretty close to brand new torque wrench that I got at O'Reilly's. And then I got a couple at yard sales. So I'm going to see if maybe I can get that the garage sale ones too, because I just assumed they didn't work. Okay, so I was going to start this with a rebuild of some of the torque wrenches that I bought over the years. I have 2 garage sale, and one that I got from O'Reilly's, and it's pretty new. I used it once, though I stored it incorrectly with it torqued down. Even still, I mean, you know, it just quit working completely. It won't break. It won't break over. So I was gonna start it with that and rebuild those so that they were working. And I went through 2 of them and couldn't get them working. So we're scrapping that. And I got a little upgrade here. EP Auto is this one, and the upgrade really more than anything is the fact that it's 250 foot-pound torque wrench. So I did check this torque wrench, get with my handy dandy luggage scale, that it is accurate. Missed it, but I started greasing on the inside of these bushings. And the control arm thread, since that's ultimately where the grease is going to go, I figured it'd probably be a good idea to pre-grease that. What's interesting, I saw one gentleman thread one end in, then put the shaft in. I don't know. I was a little confused by what he was doing. It's probably a really ingenious way of doing it. I just don't know. See, and then this thing's already starting to bind because this is binding. This is off center just a little bit. And I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be. Or not. Doesn't seem like it should be, but I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So with that side screwed in somewhat, you can probably see that wants to go to the side here. I mean, I can easily by hand move it up, but for now, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the benefit would have been. And I say, I'm sure he's right. It just, why wouldn't you just put the shaft in, screw this in, into the bushing into the control arm, and then, I mean, wouldn't you accomplish the same thing without leaving the shaft out of it? But anyway, let's see what we can do here if we kind of do what I'm thinking. Directional wise, it's just this one bevel here. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. Basically, the idea is this is supposed to turn freely, which already it's not. Alright, so the idea here is going to be to keep these right about even as you're turning them in. Do a couple turns, which is really quarter turns, 3/4 turns. See, the thing is, I start binding up in here. And this should be pretty freewheeling. And pretty even. I don't know. Ow! That hurt. That looks about, that's not bad, I guess. I don't know, it just seems like they should be a little easier turning in here. But I mean, I'm nowhere near my torque values either, so I don't know. We shall see. Still turning. We're getting close to torquing. It's still going. You just got to be even with it as a... Uh-oh. I don't know if that's supposed to go all the way in. I'm in the hole here. Yikes. Alright, so what's worrying me is this. These threaded shafts here are about a thread longer than these, and this flange is about the same amount shorter here to here, about a thread. I'm not hitting the bottom of this seal yet, but my bushing is now inside that, the control arm. I really have nowhere to go. This is almost there. It's just a hair away from being essentially in the control arm. And I got that much to go, which looks about 2 threads. Is where I would need to be to bottom out. You can see it on the camera. See, those are the same. Huh. You know, why wouldn't this have dug into this? Would be the question. What would have stopped it? Because this would not have bottomed out on that. It doesn't even go to the bottom of that. What would have stopped this one from digging into the control arm? I don't know. Something I got done. Finally. Done as there's the bird. Something I got done that now needs to be done. What I'm trying to say is I have no idea at this point. The new bushing on the new control shaft, and understand when I say new, it's not the correct one. It's the one I'm trying to use because I can't get the correct one. It digs in to the control arm well before I get to any torque value. Both sides do. And there's a gap between the shaft and the seal at that point. As I say, that looks about the difference in the length seems to be exact on both of these shafts. The length is identical overall. What the difference is is the threaded shaft is a thread longer, so it's set back basically more. Is that right? I don't know. I don't understand it. Yeah, so the overall shaft length is identical. I mean, I put them, against on measurement. What it is this threaded shaft is a thread longer, so the shoulder, the flange is set back about a thread further than the original one. So what's happening again? So that's a thread on both sides. So this one where I don't know. Again, I don't see where it doesn't bottom out on the flange ever. Your torque is still into the. I don't get it. I honestly have not a clue what's going on. The only thing I can imagine is it must be bottoming out the bushing on the threaded shaft, and that's where your torque is coming. But why wouldn't I get the same thing with this one then? I don't know. I mean, I could keep going, but it's digging in. They're both digging into the A-arm, or the control arm. Yeah, same thing. Before I get to the torque value, so it's going to keep going. It's just going to dig into the control arm. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. There's a gentleman on YouTube's there that seems to really know what he's doing with it. And with these, he just kind of threw one together and said, "Here you go." I'll see if he can look at this, try and explain, and I'm going to try to explain it right here again, just so he doesn't have to go back in all the other videos that I've done on these. I cannot get, this is the original control arm shaft, this is upper, and I can't get this one. It's like nowhere to be found anywhere. I have the bushings in, actually, or believe it or not, are outstanding for this still. There's no slop, but I don't have any seals, so I couldn't seal it up if I was to try and reuse these. I can't find any seals. They're a different kind of seal than the new, or they're different than the different ones. These are the new ones, the squared off seals. You get with pretty much everything. And these are a conical. This is actually from the lower, but it's the same concept. It's a conical seal. So anyway, I can't seal this one, so I can't use it. This is the one they sent me when I ordered a 60 GMC 3/4 ton upper control arm shaft, and as I say, those are the differences between the two. As far as mounting it goes, it's not a problem. I can mount this. I'm certain of it, but I can't seem to get. I'm not going to get torque values on these. They put a washer on there. They put a washer on these, and then do that, like the thread widths of the. I still don't know where the torque comes from. I don't know where it's torquing. Is it torquing against this? Is it torquing into the control arm? Where am I getting my torque value from? Anyway, anyone wants to help out, I'd love it. I appreciate it. Thank you.